everyone. Welcome back. And we are on week 5 of Language Arts. And before I get started, let's talk a little bit about a test called the Dibbles-Acadians test. So all the students have been tested in this test, and they receive a rating of blue, green, yellow, and red. If your child is in blue or green, they're good to go. They've got the skills that they need to proceed in first grade. If they're in yellow or red, that means we have some things to work on, probably letter sounds and blending sounds together. So you're going to be getting the test results, if you haven't already, in writing. So look for those, and then if you have any other questions or concerns about them, please contact us and we will go over some things that can help with that. Now, I guess in the same vein with that, we're sending home what's called nonsense word fluency. If your child is either yellow or red in reading nonsense words, then we're going to be giving you some tools to help them with that. Now, a nonsense word is something that doesn't make sense. So maybe it's this word, jick. So the goal is eventually that they can read this, blend it in their heads, and then say it out loud, jick. If they go like this, jick, that counts, and they get some points for that. But they get the most points if they can read it in their head, then read it out loud. So you're going to be given some games in the next couple of weeks to work on the nonsense word fluency with your child. And in that regard, you'll be told how many nonsense words they need to have for the middle of the year test. And we're just gonna work on it together till we can get them up to speed and where they need to be. So now that that's done, I can go on to week 5. We're going to be learning about Q. So the thing about Q that we tell students is it's stuck like glue to the letter U. So whenever they see a Q and a U, they're just going to say qu, not qu. It's kind of the same thing that we told them last week for the W and H. I just told them this is w. Don't need to worry about the H, it's just w. Same thing with the Q. So we have a little saying that we go over with them for the Q and the U, and it's this. Q and U are stuck like glue. Qu. So let me do that again. I make a Q, this is the sign language for Q, and then I make a U. This is the sign language for U. So I go Q and U are stuck like glue. Qu. Just like that. So if you could go over that with your child, that would be great. I'll be going over it in distance learning also. And then the other thing we're talking about this week is short vowels. So if you forgot, there's a vowel in the English language is A, E, I, O, and U. And sometimes Y. But right now we're focused on these vowels. These are always vowels. So when we talk about short vowels, that's the most prevalent sound that these vowels make. The long vowels usually have a clue to help them know to say the name. So this week I'm just making sure, we're making sure they're solid in their short vowel sounds. Here's what I tell students. I say a short vowel has one job. What is it? It's to open your mouth. And then I make the sounds. I say My mouth was open during that time. Now a consonant's job, that's all the other letters, is to close your mouth in some way. Either it's to close your mouth in the front of your mouth, like or it's to close your mouth in the back of your mouth, like g. Any of those ways, it's closing your mouth in some way. A vowel opens your mouth, and that's how we make our words. So I tell them, a vowel is so important because it's in every single word, and it's in every single syllable. So syllables are things like I'll clap out their names, and I'll say one of our students' name is Sam, so I'll say Sam. Another of our students' name is Jennifer, so we say Jennifer. And I'll tell them there is a vowel in every single syllable of your name, and in every single word. That's why they're so important. There's 2 vowels that a lot of times get mixed up, and it's the I. It's because they're a little bit similar. So I tell them that my I is kind of more of a smiley vowel. I. So if you can help them to know the difference, it's the difference between a pen and a pin, like that. So those are some of the things that we're going to be practicing with the short vowels. All right, so our sight words this week are and I tell them they can say it or a. So you might say I see a barn. Or you could say, I see a barn. Either way works. Then we've got two other words that kind of go together, she and he. I tell them that a lot of times when you have a 2-letter word or a 3-letter word, you're going to have, if it ends with the vowel, that vowel will say its name. So that's the clue that tells you the vowel will say its name. It's a 2-letter word or a 3-letter word. And then the last word, this is tricky for kids, with. Because the TH is at the end, and sometimes that confuses them. So it is blendable with, but they have to remember the TH has the thinking thumb sound. So the goal is, as we've said before, is with a sight word, they can get it within 3 seconds. They just look at it, they get it. That helps them read faster and makes it a lot more fun. I'll be sending out some YouTubes with some songs. So if your child knows these, that's fine. You don't need to engage them in the song if they don't want to be engaged in the song. But if they're struggling with something like with, then have them watch the song, sing the song, find with everywhere. We're going to be sending sight words home soon. Post those sight words in different places for them to see. Do it maybe, right when you get home, or have a trigger for it right when you go in a certain room, right before you turn on the computer or the TV, something like that, so that it's going on in their brains a lot of times a day, for a couple seconds, a lot of times a day. And that's how brains work a lot of times if they're exposed a lot and for a short amount of time. So thank you for joining me for week 5. We'll see you later. Bye.